Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. Luo Feng hadn't expected to get his godly armor in this way, even though Penggong Masters Yang Jun Rod and Huge Axe Creators Godly Axe could both extend and form armor. Luo Feng had owned 3 pairs of wings before, yet they didn't extend to form armor, so he hadn't expected this. Even though Pei Xing Master had black armor and black wings, Luo Feng hadn't anticipated that the black armor was an extension of the wings. The 5 pairs of wings merged with Luo Feng's body. Under Luo Feng's godly power, his wings extended, covered his body, and formed a suit of godly armor. The spirit of Sha Wu transmitted a message in his mind. Master, this is the subsidiary armor of Sha Wu Wings. It's a supreme true treasure armor. The message amazed Luo Feng. Supreme true treasure? Sha Wu Wings were a machine-type valuable used by a being much stronger than Universe Supreme Masters, said the spirit of Sha Wu, sounding upset. 2 pairs of wings are only inferior to supreme true treasures, and 3 pairs can already rival supreme true treasures. As for 4 pairs, they are already more powerful. The wings you have now are from the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 6th pair. Luo Feng nodded. He had acquired the 1st, the 2nd, and the 6th pair before. And he had seized the 3rd and the 4th pair from Pei Xing Master. Only adjacent wings can perfectly integrate with each other, said the spirit of Sha Wu. There are still some inconsistencies between the 6th pair and the first 4 pairs. The power can't multiply well. However, the first 4 wings are already perfect. They definitely surpass ordinary supreme true treasures, and even the subsidiary armor can rival a supreme true treasure armor. Luo Feng rejoiced. He had seen the endless power in the wing space before, and he knew that Sha Wu Wing was extraordinary. With more and more wings being integrated, it was indeed getting stronger. Why couldn't the first 2 wings form a suit of armor? Asked Luo Feng. Master, the wings of Sha Wu Wing have different functions, replied the spirit of Sha Wu, continuing to send messages. The 1st and the 2nd pairs of wings are like the foundation, like the roots of a tree. They are the base. With other wings being integrated, other powers will come. I presume that the 3rd to the 5th pair of wings have subsidiary powers, and the 6th pair is for attack. Luo Feng nodded. It made sense. The 1st and 2nd pairs of wings were like the foundation of a skyscraper, the keel of a ship. I see. Attack-type supreme true treasures can all extend to form armors. Luo Feng exclaimed. Machine-type valuables are quite variable and have all sorts of uses. They're also good at fighting those above their level. How can they not extend to form armor? I only have the armor now because this machine-type valuable isn't complete yet. Sha Wu, what's the power of this godly armor? Be more specific. Firstly, attacks under level 8 can be completely neutralized by godly armors, said the spirit of Sha Wu. Attacks over level 8 can be weakened to 1/1,000,000th. Besides, the godly armor has a high limit. At least no Universe Supreme Masters can reach the limit. Luo Feng was amazed. Attacks under level 8 can be completely neutralized. And attacks over level 8 could be weakened to 1/1,000,000th. That wasn't too amazing. After all, even Crazy Demon Extermination godly armor could weaken the power to 1/100,000th. However, the limit couldn't even be reached by Universe Supreme Masters. What did it stand for? It meant the weakening power of 1/1,000,000th could be completely utilized. The more powerful an attack was, the less efficient the weakening power of an armor would be. If the enemy was too strong, it might only be able to weaken it to 1/1000th, 1/100th, or lower, which made him more dangerous. Crazy Demon Extermination godly armor was impressive at the Universe Master level. However, when fighting Universe Supreme Masters, its limit would often be exceeded. 1/1,000,000th. Perfectly utilized. Luo Feng was shocked. That means Universe Supreme Masters who have supreme true treasure armors can never be killed by material attacks from other Universe Supreme Masters, right? Luo Feng nodded. It seemed to be true. Those with supreme true treasure armor couldn't be killed by material attacks. Only some dangerous places in the lands of extremis could kill them. Teacher Origin was great at soul attacks at top-tier level 10. With that subsidiary armor, I won't need to fear any material attacks anymore. Luo Feng was the essence of confidence. However, I can't get trapped in a fight for too long. Attacks were different from defense. Attacks were aided by techniques and true treasures, and they had no upper limit. As for defense, it depended on the armor. Weapons could help sometimes, but the armor was the most vital part. If someone was too weak to defend himself, he had to resort to armor, as only armor could resist material attacks. Even if the armor can weaken the power to 1/1,000,000th, my godly body will still be consumed, Luo Feng thought. Universe Supreme Masters have enormous godly bodies and high-level godly power. I have a small godly body and low-level godly power, and I need to maintain Du and Mie. If I get trapped in a long fight, I'll be doomed. Luo Feng understood that he needed to finish a fight quickly. Compared to real Universe Supreme Masters, one of his weaknesses was that he couldn't get trapped in a long fight. Also, he couldn't exceed the speed limit. Of course, he had Star Tower, Blood Shadowblade, the subsidiary armor of Sha Wu Wings, and Boat of Mausoleum to make up for this. The 5 wings were open and floating in front of Luo Feng. He infused his godly power into the wings and studied Sha Wu Wings. He had found that his Sha Wu Wings were very special. Valuables like Star Tower or Black Prison Tower had many different levels of engravings, but his Sha Wu Wings were exceptional and only had 4 levels of engravings. The first pair of wings contained the first level of engravings. The second pair contained the second level of engravings. And the fourth pair contained the fourth level of engravings. There were only 4 levels. The first level was called Space and Time in Chaos, and the second level was called Golden Country. The third level. The third level is beyond complicated. Luo Feng frowned. He had already spent more than an era studying the engravings in the space of training. It's more complicated than the 5th level of engravings of Star Tower. That was how it was. As a machine-type valuable, there were few levels of engravings, yet the quality was outstanding. Undying level Luo Feng could have fully comprehended the first level easily. As for the second level, he had practiced in Beast God Sector for more than 100,000 years and had reached Universe Master level on the engraving picture path before he had fully comprehended the second level and practiced Golden Country. As for the third level, it was too complicated even for him. The gap between each level was exceedingly large. But Luo Feng wouldn't give up easily. He could sense that the subsidiary armor was only a side power. The engravings contained on the third wing were truly amazing, which was why he devoted lots of his energy to studying them. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Time passed. Boat of Mausoleum started to leave Tilted Peak Sector. It spent around 300 years to do so, and 300 years was equivalent to 300 eras in the space of training. Over the course of 300 eras, Luo Feng spent most of his energy studying the godly power path. As for the rest of his energy, he spent it on the third level of engravings of Sha Wu Wings. Too difficult. I can't understand them. I can't. Boat of Mausoleum flew out of Tilted Peak Sector. Luo Feng shook his head. I think it's as complicated as the 6th level of engravings of Star Tower. The 6th level of Star Tower was at top tier level 8. Universe Supreme Masters like Great Thunderstar Master and Father God of the Automaton race could understand the engravings at that level. As for those more powerful, like Huge Axe and First True Master, they could comprehend the engravings at top tier level 9. Teacher Origin was able to comprehend those at top tier level 10. I'm only a Universe Master. After I created a blade technique at top tier level 7, I can comprehend engravings at top tier level 7 or level 8. Luo Feng understood that he needed to create superior blade techniques to fully comprehend the engravings at top tier level 8. He needed a fundamental improvement. Could Universe Masters create blade techniques at level 7? None of the great beings in Universe Ocean thought it was possible. However, those great beings also thought that Universe Masters couldn't even create blade techniques at top tier level 6, yet the selection criterion for Duandong River Inheritor was to create a blade technique at top tier level 6 as a Universe Master. Based on the records, Many talents from the ancient civilization created techniques at top-tier level 6 as universe masters. All the inheritors of Duandong River did that. Creating techniques at top-tier level 7 as a universe master was rare in the ancient civilization, yet half the inheritors of Duandong River did that. Only 2 inheritors from Duandong River created techniques at level 8 as universe masters, including the ancestral teachers. Luo Feng had made a decision. After creating Nirvana Incarnation, Luo Feng hadn't created a better technique. He had much better training conditions after getting the inheritance, and it was likely that he could create a technique at top-tier level 7. He had to train himself as a potential talent like those from the ancient civilization. It might take me a long time to become a universe supreme master. I'll try to improve my power as much as possible. I'll let them know that after getting the inheritance from Duandong River, I can be there better even as a universe master. He then decided to temporarily give up comprehending the 3rd level of engravings of Sha Wu Wings and to turn to the godly power path and blade technique creation. I can now, in the chaos air, Luo Feng was driving boat of Mausoleum and going to universe boat to get the valuables left by Jeffanzi. I can totally go look for the last pair of wings. One pair has a very short detection distance. 2 pairs of wings can detect through dozens of light years. 3 pairs of wings. When I first detected Pei Xing Master, we flew toward each other for around 20 years. The distance must have been thousands of light years, and the summoning was very strong, which means 3 pairs of wings can detect 10,000 light years. That means, for each additional pair of wings, the detection distance must be 1,000 times farther. 4 pairs of wings can probably detect tens of millions of light years, and 5 pairs of wings can probably detect billions of light years. Luo Feng was thrilled, as a miniature universe only had a diameter of 100 million light years. The 3 lands of Extremis were only 100 million light years. The Holy Lands were larger but were still only at billions of light years. If the last pair of wings is hidden in one of the miniature universes, I'll be able to sense it if I fly closer to those miniature universes. Luo Feng grew even more excited. He only had the last pair of wings left for Sha Wu Wings. I'll go find where the last pair is. Luo Feng couldn't resist the temptation anymore. He immediately drove boat of Mausoleum and flew toward the nearest miniature universe. As for valuables left by Jeffanzi, he would deal with those after getting the 6th pair of wings. The younger a miniature universe was, the closer it was to the original universe, like Primal Chaos City Leaders, Teacher Origins, and Bug Empresses. They were all very close to the original universe. The miniature universes from the Second Universe era were farther from the original universe, those from the First Universe era were even farther, and the 2 Holy Lands were quite distant from the original universe. This is the 18th miniature universe I have inspected. Luo Feng looked at the towering small universe in front of him. The 10 silver wings were all wide open, yet he couldn't sense the calling. There aren't any here. He shook his head. Fortunately, he had separated a pair of wings and disowned them. After all, the golden horned beast carrying that pair of wings with no master entered the original universe. Luo Feng was staying outside the original universe. He could clearly sense it, even with the entire original universe in the way. Apparently, the universe couldn't block the sensing. The universe can't even block the sensing from a communications token, not to mention that of Sha Wu Wings, and it turns out to be true. Luo Feng looked to the other side. In the distance was the original universe. It seemed to cover half the universe ocean. I'm closer to other small universes. I might just go there. Shua. Luo Feng teleported and disappeared. Asterisk 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 asterisk. In the primal secret region in the human territory, the remote ocean seemed tranquil. The waves were almost invisible. However, remote ocean was so enormous that those negligible waves were tens of kilometers tall. A silver-armored man walked on the waves, smiling at the space and shouting, "Teacher!" Primal Chaos City Leader showed up. "You have come back so soon." "Teacher," said Luo Feng. "Teacher rejected my gift because I didn't have a supreme true treasure armor. Now, I'm handing you the gift again." Star Tower showed up beside him, and great thunder godly armor flew out of the side gate. You mean? Primal Chaos City leader was shocked. He knew what Luo Feng meant. I got a supreme true treasure armor. Luo Feng smiled. He infused his godly power into the silver armor on his back, and an ancient yet powerful force permeated. It was even stronger than Yang Jun Rod and Black Prison Tower, as the silver armor was part of his Sha Wu Wings. That power came from the newly integrated Sha Wu Wing. He only triggered a portion of its power, and it was already this powerful. If he actually triggered all of it, it would be beyond imagination. This was within remote ocean, so the force was suppressed so that the great beings outside the ocean wouldn't know about it. This armor. Primal Chaos City leader felt the force, and he stopped the hesitation. He just got more shocked. Where did you get it? There were only a certain number of supreme true treasures in Universe Ocean. A new supreme true treasure from the three lands of Extremis? Even if there was one newly born, it must have been born in the core area, yet Luo Feng didn't go to the core area at all. There's no need for further questions. Luo Feng smirked. I have armor now. There should be no excuse for saying no to my gift. Primal Chaos City leader looked at Luo Feng and could feel his passion. Okay, I'll take it. However, the human race is in a much better situation now. Even if the situation gets worse, it's just going to be some conflicts between the two teams. From now on, don't give the valuables you obtain after hard work. Luo Feng nodded. That sounded right. Even those who were powerful found it difficult to attain supreme true treasure. For Universe Supreme Masters, it might be possible for them to defeat other Supreme Masters, yet it was difficult for them to kill other Supreme Masters. He only got the subsidiary armor from the extension of Sha Wu Wing. Teacher, I still have something to deal with. I should go now, said Luo Feng. Go ahead. Primal Chaos City leader nodded and watched Luo Feng leave. Primal Chaos City leader saw the floating Great Thunder godly armor emanating ancient power, and he couldn't help thinking in amazement that this disciple of his had indeed become an incredible talent after entering Universe Ocean, opposite to being merely an ordinary talent within the human race when he was only in the original universe. Even Primal Chaos City leader had to admit that, after getting the Duandong River inheritance, Luo Feng, instead of him, held the most important role in the human race. His like teacher Origin who led the race to its rise, Primal Chaos City leader whispered. His even more glorious than teacher Origin. There will be an actual peerless being that was born in the human race. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Hong. Luo Feng flew out of the membrane of the original universe. I'll go to the 21st miniature universe. Luo Feng had just traveled across the entire original universe. It would take too long a time to go around the original universe, yet he could use God country transportation within the original universe. Where are the last pair of wings? He whispered. Are they in one of the other two lands of Extremis? Each land of Extremis was around 100 million square light years. If the last pair was in any of the lands of Extremis, Luo Feng should have been able to sense them if he was in it. He could now confirm that they weren't in Tilted Peak sector. Instead of rushing to the other two lands of Extremis, he went to check all the miniature universes. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Time passed. It took Luo Feng 2 years to travel from one miniature universe to another. Hong. A silver-armored being appeared in the chaos air and clenched his teeth. I've searched all the miniature universes from the 3 universe eras, and none of them have the wings. They're either in the other 2 lands of Extremis or the Holy Lands. I won't let you go. Luo Feng was indeed upset that he had searched for so long but couldn't find anything. Purple Moon Holy Land is the closest one. Luo Feng immediately flew toward Purple Moon Holy Land. It took him 9 days in Universe Ocean. Purple Moon Holy Land. Luo Feng stood in space, surrounded by chaos air. The giant celestial body in front of him was Purple Moon Holy Land. It was much larger than the miniature universes he had checked before. All the miniature universes from the 3 universe eras had a diameter of 100 million light-years, yet Purple Moon Holy Land had a diameter of 2.1 billion light-years. I'll search it first. Luo Feng teleported and got closer. Shua, Shua, Shua. He teleported several times outside Purple Moon Holy Land. He wasn't sure what the limit of the sensing distance of the 5 pairs of wings would be when facing such an enormous miniature universe, which was why he had selected several spots for sensing. As he approached the miniature universe, 100 million light-years away, Luo Feng turned around and looked at his back. The 10 silver wings were open and quivering. It seemed that a summoning was coming from Purple Moon Holy Land. Summoning. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed and gazed at the gigantic Purple Moon Holy Land in front of him. The 6th pair is in Purple Moon Holy Land. He had been craving for them for a long time. He wanted to dash in, but he wasn't stupid enough to do so. Mother asterisk ka. Luo Feng clenched his teeth. He hadn't sworn for eras, yet he couldn't help doing it now. Why is it in Purple Moon Holy Land? How come? No matter which miniature universe the wings are in, I might be able to get them. Even if it were in Eastern Emperor Holy Land, there would still be hope, but Purple Moon Holy Land. Luo Feng was furious. Purple Moon Holy Land was his mortal enemy now. They had even tried to help other powers in the original universe to suppress the humans, and they had never even attempted to negotiate with him. Besides, he had just killed Pei Xing Master and seized 2 pairs of wings from him. Weird. Pei Xing Master had 2 pairs. Why didn't he find the last pair? Luo Feng frowned. The sensation power of 2 pairs was nothing compared to 5 pairs, only tens of light-years. Purple Moon Holy Land had a diameter of 2.1 billion light-years, and it had many independent space dimensions. It seemed that the last pair must be in a space where Pei Xing Master had never visited. No matter what, I can confirm that the last pair of wings is in Purple Moon Holy Land, thought Luo Feng. Besides, that pair of wings has always been in this holy land. There are 2 possibilities. 1, it's owned by a weak being like an undying fighter or universe knight who isn't qualified to leave the Holy Land. 2, some great being put it in its storage. Nobody had ever seen that wing true treasure in Universe Ocean. After all, 1 pair was only an ordinary true treasure. Universe Masters looked down on true treasures at that level. I'm in trouble now. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Luo Feng started to head to Universe Boat. It was time for him to get valuables of Jeffanzi. At the same time, he contacted Primal Chaos City Leader through the virtual universe. Teacher, I still have 1 component for my wing valuable, as in, the last pair of wings. Besides, I know that the last pair is in Purple Moon Holy Land. I can't do anything about it. Can someone from Hong Alliance help me get it? After all, it's only a pair of wings, which is at the ordinary true treasure level. Chances are, Purple Moon Holy Land has no idea how precious they are. The last pair of wings? Primal Chaos City Leader was anxious, too. Purple Moon Holy Land. That's indeed a handful. Leave it to me. There are many great beings in the Hong Alliance, so they might succeed. However, those wings have never been out of Purple Moon Holy Land, so I can't say for sure. It's better than nothing, said Luo Feng. I can't do anything about it. Teacher, I'll go to Universe Boat now. Just go and get the valuables of Jeffanzi. You've tried multiple times already, said Primal Chaos City Leader. He would leave this issue to the Hong Alliance. Luo Feng stopped thinking about it and headed off to Universe Boat for the valuables of Jeffanzi. On board his boat of Mausoleum, Luo Feng entered the internal region of Universe Boat, persevering through numerous terrifying, dangerous domains. Although he was not afraid, he exercised vigilance and kept himself obscured so that he could grab hold of the opportunity when the great beings from Purple Moon Holy Land unintentionally made a careless move. The moment he discovered one, he would make use of Star Tower to capture that great being right away, mercilessly. This way, not only could he teach those from Purple Moon Holy Land a good lesson, but he could also seize their true treasures. It was a good idea. The only problem was, even after he had spent close to 900 years traveling to finally reach the domain where the space of the Cyan secret chamber was, there was not a single time along the way when he discovered any great being from Purple Moon Holy Land. Purple Moon Holy Land is very careful and vigilant. It has been such a long journey, yet not once have I encountered anyone. Seems like the universe masters inside the universe boat have all hidden themselves with care. Luo Feng could not help lamenting as he shook his head. After all, the universe boat was extremely broad, and he had been advancing at a high rate of speed to look around. If his opponent was moving about ostentatiously, he might have discovered them somehow. But if his opponent was cautiously hiding from him, there was no way he could find them anywhere. Looking ahead into the vast space, he had already arrived at the domain where the space of the cyan token secret chamber was. Hong. The small, greenish-black ship shot ahead very quickly. For being able to arrive within a time of close to 900 years, much credit was due to the boat of Mausoleum. With it, Luo Feng traversed many dangerous lands by charging his way through with brute force. Even supreme true treasures that could resist a certain amount of danger would be burdened by terrifying environments. Yet the boat of Mausoleum was very stable, which was why Luo Feng could solely depend on it. Along the way, Luo Feng had specially sought lands that were birthplaces of treasures and was lucky enough to obtain some ordinary pinnacle true treasures, 2 top-tier true treasures, and a senior true treasure. Once, during a conversation, Primal Chaos City leader had told Luo Feng, the boat of Mausoleum cannot be shaken. Within the 3 most dangerous lands, 90% of the terrifying dangers had no effect on it. Only the core region is likely able to stop it in its path. Solely relying on this boat of Mausoleum to search for treasures, your efficiency rate will be higher than any other great being. Riding boat of Mausoleum to roam the 3 most dangerous lands, I will be able to seek out and obtain many true treasures. How wonderful! Luo Feng was inside his boat of Mausoleum, looking far into the distance at the numerous buildings suspended on huge leaves. He drew nearer to try to feel the place out. After I obtain the treasures from Jeffanzi's legacy, I will roam the 3 most dangerous lands. Roaming the 3 most dangerous lands only required a trace of his consciousness. He mainly focused his spiritual energy on cultivation. After 2 days, Luo Feng found the secret chamber within the space of the cyan token that belonged to him. This is the one. The little, greenish-black boat reduced speed and slowly descended on a huge leaf. The cabin doors opened. Luo Feng walked out and raised his head to look at the building before him. The secret chamber of the black token and the secret chamber of the cyan token are both so lacking in aesthetics. With a wave, Luo Feng put away the boat of Mausoleum. Then he slowly walked toward the ancient building. The moment his body touched it, he felt as though he had touched the surface of water. He penetrated right through to enter the internal space of the secret chamber. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Luo Feng appeared in midair and looked ahead. Amidst the void space, there were 9 huge, blazing fireballs, each bigger than any ordinary star by 1,000 times. These 9 fireballs were suspended high within the void space, and they were moving in a circular motion. In the middle of the area they encircled was a suspended continent. Luo Feng stood within the void space. With a move of his mind, all 10 wings on his back spread wide, and a blurry, golden light radiated outward. In an instant, the entire space was enshrouded, and everything within it fell under his control. Just one look, and Luo Feng's expression revealed his surprise. With 1 step forward, he teleported himself over to the continent. The expanse of the landform was vast. He stood on a deserted land of sandstones and looked up toward the sky, where he could see light rays produced by the 9 blazing fireballs being projected onto the land. They intertwined to form a picture scroll containing characters that were made up of fire snakes. The scroll was densely covered with a mass of characters that Luo Feng was not familiar with, yet every character contained ripples that transmitted information, so Luo Feng had no trouble understanding the text. I, Jeffanzi, am a special life form. I became an undying cultivating the water law and have been cultivating since I became a Universe Supreme Master. After I became a Universe Supreme Master, one fine day, while I was living a peaceful life on a certain planet, I was struck by a sudden thought. On this life planet, life required water to survive, so water was the origin of life. But the entire planet needed to rely on the heat of the stars to absorb energy for all life forms to grow. The water law and fire law. These are not as simple as how we have all used to comprehend. They were not as simple as 2 individual laws. Water and fire both involve the origin of life, the origin of all forms of life, and the origin of reproduction. Therefore, I have created my own studies, a new body of lost knowledge, water and fire origins. I have traversed the primal universe, and when the primal universe came to an end, I moved on to observing universe ocean and comprehended 2 reincarnation eras. Water and fire origins was getting more complete, and I believe that if I had been given enough time, I would have been able to attain an even higher level in order to transcend reincarnation. But I did not have enough time. I may have achieved a combat power that was at 10th tier as the top level, but still, I am not confident of achieving a breakthrough to transcend reincarnation. Water and Fire Origins was created with great efforts. After spending a long time, 3 reincarnation eras, I am most reluctant to see it disappear. My wish is that any later generations will be able to take on what I have comprehended and continue to pass down this legacy of mine. The 9 fireballs in the surroundings of void space are unique objects from Tilted Peak sector of the universe ocean. They are 9 iced crystals that have been transformed into 9 fireballs by my water and fire origins. They represented the peak of my accomplishment. Now that the 9 fireballs have become one, their might should not be spread to the outside world. Under this great continent, there is a pinnacle palace true treasure. Inside the palace, you will find all the treasures I have left behind, and you will also find a low to high level inheritance of the lost knowledge I have created. I truly hope that my descendants will not let my life's work, my legacy, be lost for good. On the scroll high up in the sky, upon seeing the information that was transmitted via the characters made out of fire snakes, Luo Feng took in a deep breath. 10th tier as the top. Water and fire origins. Indeed, every generation will give rise to at least one peerless figure who is unparalleled in demeanor and talent, said Luo Feng, in awe. This Jeffanzi actually possessed combat power at the 10th tier as the top level. This would have been comparable to what Teacher Origin already achieved previously. He must be one of the greatest figures during his era. No wonder. No wonder he was so fixated on his legacy. It seems like his water and fire origins was indeed a body of lost knowledge that he had created and was incomparably proud of. This must be why he was so reluctant to see his efforts go down the drain and his legacy discontinued. Of course, in terms of talent, Jeffanzi was still no match for Teacher Origin. After all, Teacher Origin had already attained the 10th tier as the top level when he was still within the primal reincarnation era before being eternally suppressed. On the other hand, Jeffanzi had taken a total of 3 full reincarnation eras to reach the 10th tier as the top level. However, throughout the universe ocean, other than Teacher Origin and the ancestors of the 2 Holy Lands, the next strongest in line today were all great beings at the level of 9th tier as the top. This showed how talented Jeffanzi really had been. Water and fire origins, the origin of life. The origin of all forms of life and of reproduction. Even Luo Feng was touched when he learned all this. Previously, the laws that he had cultivated, whether gold, wood, water, fire, or earth, were the most fundamental laws. Furthermore, he had always cultivated them as individual laws. Never had it crossed his mind that something as simple as an individual set of laws could contain the mystery of the origin of life. If this body of lost knowledge was merely an ordinary kind of creation, then even if it were to be discontinued, there was no loss worth lamenting. But something as unique as water and fire origins, which far surpassed what other supreme masters had created. Such a body of lost knowledge was truly something worth being proud of. A peerless figure in demeanor and talent, Luo Feng lamented. Yet he was gone, just like that, without even achieving a breakthrough of a reincarnation era. Transcending reincarnation. Oh, transcending reincarnation. How difficult it truly is. Keep. With a random flick of his hand, Star Tower flew up right away. Following the guidance of Luo Feng's godly power, the 9 huge fireballs high up in space were quickly sent right into Star Tower. Rise. Luo Feng looked toward the continent at his side. The continent split apart, and a palace emerged from beneath. Sandstones separated into 2 sides, revealing a palace in its entirety. Luo Feng sent a trace of his godly power penetrating through this palace, and soon enough, he had made this palace true treasure recognize him as its master. The treasures inside. After this Pinnacle Palace true treasure had recognized Luo Feng as its master, Luo Feng could quickly learn how many treasures were inside. After sorting and summing up everything, he had a clearer picture of the treasures Jeffanzi had left behind. What he had summed up dealt Luo Feng with a good shock. Although there were no supreme true treasures, this pile was still much more than what he had gained from killing Great Thunderstar Master, adding on the gains from sweeping through the miniature universe. There was a total of 32 Pinnacle Palace type and Domain type true treasures, and a total of 91 ordinary Pinnacle true treasures. Top-tier Domain type true treasures were considered to be on this level. Ordinary top-tier true treasures, senior true treasures, and ordinary true treasures were very few. The total might have only added up to slightly more than 100. Perhaps these did not appeal much to Jeffanzi, who was simply not interested in them. As for the large amount of various precious treasures, materials for refining true treasures, treasures for restoring godly bodies, and treasures for increasing the amount of life genes, there were many of all these, too. Not even counting the supreme true treasures, these are already riches much greater than the entire wealth of my human race. Luo Feng was awestruck. In fact, this was considered normal. The wealth of a race was mainly created by universe supreme masters. Supreme masters who were lone travelers, regardless of whether it was Jeffanzi from eras ago, Sitting Mountain Guest, Sha Wu Island Leader, or several others of the current era, had no need to worry for any race. The treasures they obtained were theirs to keep, yet the treasures they had were in no way inferior to those owned by an entire race. Jeffanzi's combat power was at the level of 10th tier as the top. During his era, he had once swept through the entire universe ocean with his great might. His only problem was that he was obsessed with the water and fire origins. He was very ambitious by nature. If he had put his heart into plundering, he would have gained even more treasures. But the amount of treasures he had was considered normal, as he had been collecting for the long period of 3 reincarnation eras. So many treasures. Therefore, I will be able to repair the final injury on the white wings of my Sha Wu Wings. Luo Feng was happy when this realization dawned upon him. With a flip of his hand, a fist-sized, spherical crystal stone appeared in the middle of his palm. The spherical crystal stone stored a large amount of information, and all that information was what Jeffanzi took great pride in, his water and fire origins. Let's take a look at this water and fire origins. The moment Luo Feng laid eyes on it, he was immersed. He was pleasantly surprised at what he saw. The knowledge of water and fire origins was so mysterious and magical that it qualified to be ranked within the core inheritance of the pulse of Duandong River. The pity was, Jeffanzi had only managed to comprehend the fundamentals of the lost knowledge of water and fire origins. Yet even though the fundamentals were just built, the magical side of this lost knowledge could be subtly observed. According to what the lost knowledge of water and fire origins describes, Luo Feng said to himself, reaching the peak of this place, with a single move of intention, and taking the 2 origins, water and fire, as the core, I can instantly develop a true universe. When there is a war, the surroundings of my body can instantly become a true miniature universe. Forcing the enemies into this miniature universe, there will be no way they can survive, right? This video will end here.